And hey there, how are you? It is Monday morning. It is weigh-in day for the end of week 10 of my keto diet journey. So it's now been 10 weeks since I decided to adopt this keto lifestyle. I have been fairly successful in these 10 weeks. I started this journey at 269 pounds, and I weighed in today at 239.6. So, I've lost about 30 pounds. Week over week, last week I was 240.8, today 239.6. So, pound, 1.2, call it a pound of weight loss. I'm happy with that. I really kind of expected a plateau. Again, I think I've said this many times. Several weeks where I've sat there and said, there's just not going to happen. There's no way. You know, this has been a rough week. My diet's been all screwed up. I'm tracking everything in the MyFitnessPal, and I'm looking at it and going, oh my God, you know, there's no way I've lost any weight. And so far, I have not had a 0 week, nor have I had a weight gain week in these initial 10 weeks of this journey. So, kind of recap what's been going on. The exercise has been stable, at least 3 times a week, sometimes 4. Half an hour on a stationary bike. In addition, still doing the hand weights. It's only 6 pounds a piece, so there's not a lot. Just trying to get some chest movement and working up a damn good sweat in that half an hour. Still sort of intermittent fasting. I realize it's a bit of a misnomer because in the morning I drink my black coffee, but I have to keep this fat content up. So I've been putting 2 tablespoons of butter in the coffee to make it bulletproof coffee. That gives me about 140 calories out of those 2 tablespoons. So I'm technically getting some calorie intake, even though I don't eat again until after 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So between 1 p.m. and 9 p.m. I can eat. And I get 2,000 calories in that 8-hour period. And then again, about 140 calories in the morning with a coffee. The biggest struggle has been around the ratios, the macros for the keto. So I've said it over and over again, it's supposed to be 80% fat, 15% protein, 5% carbs. The carbs are no problem. I've no issue avoiding the carbohydrates at all. I'm not missing anything at this point. I've had a lot of fun actually over the last several weeks with my coach. My son Sebastian has been helping me find alternative recipes, an alternative way to make things that seem like the normal foods that I've given up, but they're keto. It's kind of neat. It's kind of fun. And it's because of those little experiments and changes that I worry that's going to cause kick me out of ketosis and cause either a plateau or a weight gain. Hasn't happened yet. The other problem is the ratios are hard to keep, right? So if it's supposed to be only 15% protein, that's been hard, man. I've said it before, I'm a carnivore. I like my meat. Sorry. The fat is always about 75, 70 instead of the 80 that it's supposed to be, which means that the protein is 20. You know, it's kind of hard, sometimes more than 20, 25% protein. I just have to keep working at it. You know, I think probably one of the things I need to think about is how creative I've gotten with the options and still staying within the 2,000 calorie diet, making sure that I am truly getting the amount of fat intake that I really need to. Oh, it's already Monday. I'm already tired. Sorry. So that's kind of the continuing struggle, is to keep the macros where they're supposed to be. A couple new things I did find this week that made my life a little more joyful. Half and half is a joyful thing. All the years I've ever had coffee, I've never used half and half. I've never bought it before. But here's the thing. The calories are about on point, about 40 calories for 2 tablespoons. And there's no carbohydrates whatsoever. none, maybe one for those 2 tablespoons. And it works really well for some things. We were able to kind of a couple times make me a keto chocolate milkshake just out of half and half and cocoa powder, a little bit of the fake stevia sugar. Kind of cool. It's like a Wendy's Frosty when you cool it and chill it and shake it. I've been able to use it in the coffee. The coffee's been really bitter, and the bitterness with the butter has been a little odd. So being able to put just a tiny, like a tablespoon of that half and half in the coffee helps. So that's kind of a new friend. It's like a dairy friend that I have now. Dinner's still a challenge. You know, I spent some time going back through what I usually eat and logging and looking the most frequent items that I put into my food rotation. And it really stands out to me that I eat a lot of Hillshire Farm cheddar wurst. It's kind of odd. I may have said that before, but that just comes to mind now as I think about it. Still trying to keep the salads as the thing for lunch, trying to keep the salads at about 600 calories or so, 5, 6, 700 calories at the max. And that's really just lettuce, shredded cheddar cheese, some form of protein, be it ground beef or ripped up chicken breast, but only about a quarter cup. I've really got to keep that. I got to bring that back down and keep hold of how much protein is going into that salad. And the end all be all in the salad is just straight up extra virgin olive oil. Put 2 or 3 tablespoons on a salad, and I've got a decently high fat intake. So that's kind of the update, long and short of the whole thing. Still feeling good, feel great. I was outside working yesterday in the front yard, digging up with shovels and spades and tearing out a whole section of weeds and grass and rototilling, and I was out there for like 3 hours. So if I only lost 1.2 pounds this week, I think I can maybe give myself a convenient excuse that it's because I built some muscle, right? Think about it. I'm eating too much protein, and I did probably 4 hours worth of physical work in labor yesterday. So maybe I built a little muscle. I don't know. I think that's going to be the psychological lie that I tell myself to feel better about not losing 2 or more pounds. But I'm good. A pound here. I'm under 240. Great. The goal is 215. So give or take, I still have 25, maybe 24 pounds to go. And it's going good, guys. So, you know what? Thank you for the encouragement. Thank you for the comments, the suggestions, the feedback. Thank you for sharing your stories with me and what's worked for you and what hasn't. So we'll continue on, move on into week 11 and see what else we can get done. I don't really have any specific diet changes this week that I can think of, and I don't think I'm going to do anything extra with the exercise. So we'll just keep at it, stay the course, try to be smart about the choices I make, and we'll see what week 11 brings us next time. Have a great week out there. Thanks so much for watching. See you then.